Hey everyone, this is Jock Buffton with GolfBusters. And in today's video, we're going to be showing you and your friends who want to use your simulator how to perfectly set up your MEVO Plus with PC and iOS. And a quick reminder, if you're looking to buy the MEVO Plus Golf Simulator, we can get it for you as cheap as possible with our code and link below.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a tape measure and measure your distance from the screen to the ball and the ball to your MEVO Plus. The MEVO Plus is very picky, so make sure you're very detailed with this step. I recommend exactly 8 feet from ball to MEVO Plus and then over 10 feet from ball to screen. FlightScope recommends anywhere from 7 to 8 feet from ball to MEVO Plus and at least over 9 feet of ball to screen. Then you're going to set your MEVO Plus down. I recommend once you find a good setup distance to mark that somehow so you can repeat it every time. You'll notice that I have 2 screws to the bottom of my base so that I can get the same setup every time. Then you're going to press and hold the button on top of the MEVO Plus until you hear it beep. At that point, it will take about 20 seconds to turn on. Then what I would recommend doing is getting your external battery pack. I'll link that in the description. And then make sure you use the cord that came with the MEVO Plus. I've heard there can be issues if you don't use the exact cord, so I've marked mine with green tape so I always know which one it is. Then you can plug the external battery pack into the MEVO Plus. After about 20 seconds, you'll hear it beep multiple times, and that means the device is on. Next, we're going to show you how to use your iPad or iPhone to play E6 or FS Golf. The first thing you'll need to do is go to your settings and click on your Wi-Fi. There you're going to see the serial number for your device, and you're going to click on the Wi-Fi network. If you haven't logged in before, the password will be everything but the FS part. So mine would be M2-020023. Once you've logged in once, you should just have to click it the next time for it to work. Once you're connected to your Wi-Fi, I actually recommend going to the FS app first before you go to E6. There you'll need to connect to your device, which it should do in the top right if you've connected to Wi-Fi. Then you'll need to make sure your roll and tilt is what I recommended earlier in the video. The best settings I found is for roll to be between -0.1 and +0.1 and tilt to be between 11.5 and 12.0. After you've done that, click the target alignment button and just make sure that your device is centered on your wall. Then a quick reminder, if you are going to use the FS app instead of E6, when you click Start New Session, make sure you have the correct ball selected. Then you can do your full swing session and begin that. But if you're going to use E6, a reminder, the reason we use the FS app first is to set up our MEVO Plus properly before we move into E6. Once you move into E6, you need to make sure this is authenticated. So if you haven't logged into E6 with your Wi-Fi and got all that set up first, you need to do that first before moving on to this part. Once you're in, you don't need to have internet connection to use E6. For instance, with my iPad, I just like to use offline mode. So I click on the offline mode button and you can still use it just like normal. Then I click the settings button in the bottom right, and in the golf settings tab, that's everything for your game you want to set up. So for this video, we're going to skip that, but you can take time to decide the best settings for your game yourself. Now we're going to click all the way down to simulator. Project dimensions doesn't really affect anything on your readings. This is just more for how it looks on your screen. So you can set up your project dimensions here by changing screen width, screen height, ball to screen, and where the tee position is. After that, we'll click into the tracking system and configure our FlightScope. Now you'll notice the only settings you have here is sensor to tee and mode. You'll want to select short indoor mode when you're using a simulator. And like I said, make sure that sensor to tee distance you select in the bottom right is what you have it at. I recommend 8 feet. Now, you're going to notice that there's no tilt and roll here. The reason we use the FS app first is to get that aligned properly before we moved over to E6. Now, we don't need to click align camera because we already did that in the FS app, but if you want to do it again, you're welcome to. Now we're back out, we'll click accept, and now we're ready to play golf. So you can make your profiles here. I click on the name, click join, then we'll click stroke play and click your golf course. Click next and you are good to start playing. Thanks for watching the video and please make sure to subscribe.